a brisk day, 18 degrees. Heading to the shop to finally fix this ABS connector issue. I'm going to have to just replace the crimps, as there are no connectors for these anymore on the interwebs. So that is what it is. You can see my breath. It's a cold one, Mr. Grinch. But we're gonna be all right. So, I got the heater on obviously over there. If you're ever working in the cold, which if you live in the Northeast or Northwest or whatever you're going to be, my favorite trick, if I can find them, is the kind of the cut resistant gloves. One of the best dexterity you can reasonably have while keeping your digis warm, pretty warm anyway. I don't know where the heck they went. I won't tell you how long it took, but I just found them. Let's go, baby. Okay, first things first, we gotta pry this gray cover off this connector. I'll be honest with you, I didn't put any of this together too legitimately because I knew I was gonna be right back in it. Everything's cold, so be gentle. Might be hot where you are, I don't know, when you're doing this. But for me, it's the middle of winter, so we're gonna be gentile. All the plastic. Honestly, if something like this breaks too, it's really not the end of the world. But these connectors are discontinued, so you gotta kind of keep that in mind. We're also gonna have to ditch these gloves in a little bit. But for now, we'll leave them on. Oh wow, those are a twisted pair, I never realized that. So we're not gonna be able to slide this up too far, but we should be able to get it up far enough to do the work we need to do. So that guy goes to about there. And then we can pry out this rubber piece right here. This is just kind of a gasket material. Try not to rip it. Definitely would not be great. However, it is on the bottom of the connector, so it's not doing a whole heck of a lot. Now mine's coming apart easy because obviously I had it apart not that long ago. So just keep that in mind. Then you're gonna push these little green tabs right there and pull this one out. Try not to break it. That whole connector slides off and you're pretty much there. It actually comes apart really easy overall. Then what we're gonna do is push all these guys up and through, trying to be gentle. Granted, we're gonna be cutting most of these off, if not all of them, but we're still gonna be gentle with it. And then we'll be ready to go. So I'll do this and I'll turn you back on. I've got them all pulled through. What we really need to do is try to maintain as much wire length as we can. I'm gonna start with the most corroded ones and kind of decide if I think I need to cut the rest of them. But like, for example, that one, the connector is good. The crimp is pretty good, but there is just a ton of green inside of that wire. I don't know if you can see, but I think most of these, if not all of them, are gonna wind up getting cut off. Although like that one, for example, is pretty good shape. So I'm trying to not mess with any more of these than I have to, but we will see. So I'm gonna start cutting. I think I'm just gonna start with that purple one right there, honestly. So what I wanna do is cut as long as I can, right there, okay? And then let's just see if we can strip it back, kind of break off that connector. Because if the wire is good under it, which in this case it probably won't be, but if the wire were good under it, then you don't want to take away any more wire than you have to from the harness. As it is, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. So let's see what we got underneath here. Lots of green. Oh, that's actually not bad inside there. The connector's green, but the wiring's not. So I'm gonna just kind of do this and figure out how much I need to strip back from all these wires, and I'll come back to you guys. Okay, so I just kind of trialed it. I'll show you guys with this one. I wound up cutting it pretty far back, but we got a pretty good crimp on there. I don't have the actual crimping tool for this. Believe it or not, crimping tools are dumb expensive. So I'll kind of show you the trick of what you can do if you don't own a crimping tool to kind of crimp these fairly well. This is a 250,000 mile truck, so I'm just trying to kind of make this pretty good. But yeah, we'll have a good connection. It'll be better than it was, which was non-functional. So, you know, kind of can't go backwards in that sense. So stay tuned. So I've decided that I need to do all of them. They're all a little bit corroded, and while I'm in here, I'm not gonna leave corrosion. So what I'm doing is right before the strain relief crimp, which is that one right there, I'm trimming it. Trim that off, and then I can take the pliers and just kind of pry that strain relief crimp off because it's just on the rubber. So it's easier to get to, or easier to pull off. Of course, because I'm on camera, I'm choking, but I did the other one in 3 seconds. There it goes. Just do it with my fingers. And then we're going to strip that back. I can already see green pus in this one, so these are 18 gauge, but pick your gauge, crimp or squeeze, strip it back. That's pretty clean wire. There's a tiny bit of green on there, but I'm not going to cut it any shorter because that doesn't touch the crimp anyway. We'll get a new crimp. And then what we'll do is we slide that on there. You want to make sure that the top teeth here are on the insulation and then the bottom are on the wire. And again, there's a proper crimp tool for this, but if you're going to use pliers, take one of the ends and kind of lean it over like that. And then take the other end and do the same thing. So you've kind of got like a triangle. And then you're going to push on both ends. So now we have a nice flat connection, but we're not tight yet. So now I'm going to take really any of these honestly will work, but I usually take the 22 to 18 gauge just because it kind of is a sharper point. And we'll go on there, just give it a good squeeze. And then we are tight. And again, it's not, the best looking joint, but it's tight, it's good, it'll hold up. And it's a hell of a lot better than what was there. Proper way to do this, if they sold it, would be to buy the little pigtail harness and splice them up here. Just because then you would have the stock crimps. But they don't even sell it, so I got to work with what I got. And I have done this in the past with vehicles and with different electronics, and it'll work fine. So anyway, and give them a good little tug. Now's the time to break it. If you're going to break it, you can always replace it. When it's on the vehicle, you don't want to have to do that again. So we'll kind of get all these out of the way, and we'll just keep going all the way down the line. That one looks like death. Let's see what that looks like quick. All these wires, man, are just a little crusty. And, while we're here, it would be crazy not to get rid of all the crustaceans, because otherwise we're going to regret it in the long run when things are still failing and you've still got problems with the vehicle and all that kind of stuff. Okay, there we go. Nice fresh wire. So we're looking good. I'm going to keep going. Okay, so they are all crimped pretty good. So what we're going to do is give them all one last little tug test. Once again, now's the time to find out you messed up, not after you put the connector all together. Okay, I think we're good. I obviously gave them a good tug test while I was doing it, of course, too. We'll start to slide just this piece back down. This is kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. You guys can't say anything, can you? But, as with anything, slow and steady wins the race. Nice and gentle. To be 100% real with you guys, that took way longer than expected. If you don't have the actual crimping tool, your crimps are a little wider than what's there from the factory. And holy crap, did it take me a long time to get all those pins in there without breaking them and stuff. So anyway, I did get it done. I actually turned the time lapse off just because the camera was in my way. Okay, finally got it. That was more than difficult, not gonna lie. Now we gotta put our cross pin back in. That's going in pretty smoothly. Oh, now look at that. Nice. You're out of camera. Focus. Sorry, guys. This has been a little bit of more of a project than I expected it to be. Okay, so we got our cross pin in. Went in nice and smooth, which is great. All of our wires look good. Throw our little rubber boot back on. And our plastic cover. I like to do these separate, actually. There we go, just so I can confirm that rubber boot is nice and sealed. I will say, you know, this connector is actually not a terrible design, like from new, but I just think rebuilding something like this is a bit of an aggressive idea. Just because, you know, the more you take these damn things apart, the more weird everything gets. Make sure you don't poke through this. Use the flat side of the screwdriver or a piece of plastic trim tool or something. So we'll get that in there. Get our little gray cover back on. We should be good to go. I mean, with my luck, I'm sure I screwed something up in there. And, you know, there'll be a problem, but we'll see. All right, my camera battery is about to die, but got everything hooked back up. I already lowered this a little bit, which was kind of dumb of me. But I'll crawl under there for you guys. Holy crap. Anyway, the harness is a little bit shorter than I'd like it to be, but it's fine. Everything's fine. It's gonna be fine. So we'll test that in a little bit. But I desperately need to rotate these tires, so I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna put the time lapse on until the camera dies, and then I'll pick back up with my phone. All right, everyone, so I've put on probably about 50 miles or so since I did the ABS connector pins. And so far, so good. I have not thrown the light again. It's been working great. Like I kind of said earlier, it was a real pain in the butt to get those pins to fit back in the plastic holder of the connector. I actually don't recommend replacing the pins if at all possible. If you live in the South, go to a junkyard and try to get a pigtail harness and splice it in. I think you're a lot better off. If you live up here, you can also try to do that. Maybe get a couple of them and then hope you can piece together one that has good pins. The problem is those pins are probably going to be just as bad as mine. I don't really have a great solution to this problem without doing what I did. Like I said before, the connector is discontinued online. Actually, I guess the real good solution would be buy the proper crimp tool and then do what I did, now that I think about it. So that's an option. It's just gonna suck that you're gonna spend like 100, 150 bucks. Believe it or not, they're that expensive. Likely on the crimp tool, and then never really have a use for it again. You're probably not gonna find one used. Maybe there's like a generic crimp tool that would do that style of connector better. I don't know. That's worth looking into. That being said, what I did work. It took me way too long, but you know, after an hour of fussing with it, I did get it to go in. The connections are really secure. Like I said, there's no ABS light. Life goes on, everything's good. So I will report back via a short or something if it does fail and why it failed. I sure hope it doesn't, of course. But if it were to fail, I will let you guys know. I'm pretty transparent with stuff like that. So anyways, I think that'll conclude this video. As always, thanks for watching. God bless America, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.